I like studio monitors, but even at the entry level point, they can be quite expensive with a few exceptions, like the Samsung SR850 and the Audio-Technica M20X. But the M20X doesn't really sound that nice. Samsung's, yeah, I would recommend them to anyone, but they're not really as revealing as the M40Xs, which by the way used to retail for slightly over 400 ringgit plus, and now it's around 350 maybe at Music Bliss and other music shops in Malaysia. So I actually got one of these, the Sony CD900ST, which is by the way still the gold standard in Japan despite the release of the Sony MDR M1ST, which is supposed to be the successor of these, okay, for 770 ringgit. It was 19.8k in Japan, in yen of course, not in Malaysian ringgit, but yeah, when you do the conversion it converts to around this price. It's more or less the same, never changed that much. This is before you factor in shipping, okay? Now these days you can find the CD900ST on Soundhouse for about 15k yen. Price has dropped significantly since the M1ST was released, but that's pretty much to be expected. So typically if you wanted something more affordable, you would look into the used market where there's a lot of options for you. But the main question is how much cheaper, how much do you save by going into the second-hand market? Well, this is a Yahoo Auctions page that is it's a listing that's still active. It's going for 4.7k Japanese yen, which is about 180 ringgit, 100 at most, given your bank exchange rates at whatnot, 200 ringgit. It's ridiculously cheap, okay? Like, what the heck is this? I mean, I bought these brand new. I bought these CD900ST, this pair brand new, for the full price of 700 ringgit. And these guys are selling it on the second-hand market for 4.7k. It still works according to the owner. Basically over here he just describes what the monitor is. It's used by a lot of Japanese studios in Japan, like, well, Sony, big surprise. Avex also uses them. Magico also uses them. The headphone has a few dents, leather is peeling off and whatnot, yada yada. Basically like the usual wear and tear stuff, nothing that can't be fixed, especially due to the amount of spare parts available on this site. Like, you will find a whole bunch of replacement parts for the CD900ST on Soundhouse or on pretty much any Japanese music store. You just have to import them in and do your soldering work and whatnot. But yeah, otherwise this is pretty much works like it was brand new so far as I can see. It's just a little bit of leather flaking on the headband, but on mine is about 2 years old already and there's no sign of flaking yet. They've held up pretty well so far. Yeah, the owner is basically selling them because he's not using them anymore. He stopped production of music, according to the bottom part of this text over here. And really, this just goes to show how broken the Japanese second-hand market can be. After buying these, okay, after buying the CD900STs, I also purchased these, the Final Audio Heaven 4s. The owner listed it as a second-hand product that was opened already and whatnot, but when I got this, it was actually brand new. It was never opened before. Like the original ear, the original silicone ear tips were all inside. But a little bit, squashed and whatnot because these have been discontinued, and they've been pretty much left in the box for like about 4 or 5 years, maybe. I forgot. Okay, I had this conversation with the previous owner before, with the seller before, and yeah, and it even came with a box Like, I mean, you can see scratches over here now and whatnot, micro scratches, whatnot. Like, this was a design flaw in the earlier final earphones, which they have fixed. And yeah, how much did I get it for? After shipping, 400 ringgit, around 400 ringgit. All right, the listing price was 330 ringgit, and this is just ridiculous. Like, how on earth? I seriously cannot understand how on earth Japan can sell these things for cheap. Like, this box literally was brand new. Okay, and okay, you can see a bit of tearing there. That was completely my fault, but otherwise it was brand new. How? Like, just how do you guys sell your stuff this cheap? Japan, why?